Hi everyone, my name is Amanda Gorman and I am so incredibly excited to be a judge for Get Lit's Why I Rise competition. Just so you know a bit about me, I am a poet, and a few years ago I was named the inaugural Youth Poet Laureate of the United States. I'm originally from Los Angeles, California, but I'm a senior at Harvard where I studied sociology with a citation in Spanish. Obviously, currently with everything going on with the public health crisis, I am at home, sheltering in place, so I'm not at school on campus, but I'm still very much so a student. I'm very excited for this competition because I think there's something so important about discussing and having a dialogue around mental health, particularly at this moment. I see a lot of encouragement for keeping up your physiological or physical health, which I think is phenomenal. I've started running more, which was never really something that I had done consistently. I started doing yoga, started dancing more, trying to stay more active, being aware of what I'm eating and what I'm drinking, what I'm consuming, to make sure I'm getting everything that I need in the day, even though I'm staying at home. With that being said, I think it's equally important that we're checking in with ourselves about our mental health. Being physically and socially distant from people can be quite overwhelming, and it can have just as large of an impact about how you're feeling physiologically if you're not taking care of what you're feeling in the interior of yourself. So something I've been thinking about is the role of poetry, of language, of literature in helping with that project in improving our mental health. And that's obviously something that Get Lit is on top of and is doing phenomenally well with this campaign and contest. I wanted to talk about my personal experience, which is to say, writing has been a huge help for me in safeguarding, improving, feeding my mental health. I think a lot of times self-care, particularly for activists or people with emotionally straining types of professions, self-care tends to be framed around a more so capitalist approach to it. It's what you buy. You buy a face mask, or you buy a skincare product, or you do your nails, which great, fine. I think self-care looks like a myriad of 1,000 different things. So however it expresses itself for you is totally fine. But I also think there's many different layers of it, where it's not just doing a face mask or taking a long bath, but it's thinking about how am I feeding myself in terms of my mental health, how am I protecting myself, and how are my habits and the structure of my life conducive or not conducive to my holistic well-being. For me, writing is a huge piece of that conversation. I can tell you my mental health is not doing well if I look up and it's been a week or two and I haven't actually written anything down. And when I say write, I don't necessarily mean I have to write and there needs to be a product, i.e. I'm upset at myself because I haven't written a quote-unquote book, or I haven't written something that's been published. When I say write, I mean it in the most welcoming of terms. If I look up and I haven't written a diary entry, or I haven't written some poetry or anything at all, if I haven't even sat down with a pen and a piece of paper, it's saying something about my level of anxiety, and as well as the fear I have of even trying to approach expressing that. And so I think even writing 15 minutes a day, putting that at the forefront of your agenda and your schedule, whether you're a quote-unquote writer or not, is a great help, because it challenges you to grapple with those issues in your mind. To give some evidence, I was actually going to bring up some of my journals that I've kept over time for my mental health. This is one that I got in Milan. I loved it because it said Flying Spirit, which just gave me a lot of hope. I have not filled this one in, but as you can see, there's a lot there. This is one that I got from my host family in Spain, which was super helpful because I loved being in Spain, but obviously on top of that, it was difficult being in a country where I wasn't completely yet fluent in the language, where I didn't have any family, where I didn't really know that many people. And so having my host family give me a journal that I could write in both in English and Spanish really helped with my mental health. Here's a journal that I got in Edinburgh, which I think I filled this in like 5 days, just because that was such a, I don't know, electric time for me to be writing, apparently. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so a lot of my mental health journals have Harry Potter insignias. Case in point, this is another journal that I kept, I want to say sophomore year of college. Obviously Hogwarts, Harry Potter. Again, really making sure I was trying to write at least as much as I could by going down to our Charles River and writing my emotions and my thoughts down. Last but not least, and this isn't all my journals, these are just a few hand-selected ones that I did. This is one that I got in Paris when I visited. I'm pretty sure I got this from the Louvre, and there was just something so striking for me about this painting, which is one of my favorite of all time. So I bought it. All that to say is, through this share and tell, you can really see the ways in which I've written and brought those writings with me. I think what's really great about writing and mental health is, one, that it in real time challenges you to grapple, process, face your life as you're living it. And it's a really great type of engine of understanding for yourself, really, to write it down. Just the process of writing, I think, in itself is healing. But on top of that, it also creates documentation. Now I have all these things I can look back to throughout my life that shows me the progress and the journey of my own mental health. And I think it's really important to be able to have those qualitative, quantitative data points for yourself, so you can check in and not just look at yourself from, you know, the close-up of the day-to-day, but how am I doing over a longer stretch of time. On top of the journals that I've kept that have helped me with my mental health, I also wanted to share some other writing that's spoken to me from other people that has helped me with my mental health as a writer. One thing I wanted to bring up is this book called The Writer on Her Work, and I love it because it's basically a collection of diary entries and journals and essays of a woman who are grappling with writing. I would definitely check it out if I were you, and look at it. It can be an inspiration for you of the ways in which you would like to write, engage with mental health, and hopefully it will help you as you think about this competition. Thanks so much for joining me today, and good luck.